Hello, lovelies. Come on down. It's time. You know what time it is? It's time. Who's in the house? Who's here? Here we go. Here comes the lovelies. I see the door swinging open. I do not want to watch this on a larger screen. Hi, Sarah. Good to see you. And Denise. Hello. Hi, Maggie. Yes, you're here. Thank you for coming. It is Friday. We have really good questions today. Oh, thank you. You can see how dark I am up here. And then this is all gray up here. Crazy. Hi, Susan and Jane and Gwen. Good to see all of you ladies today. Hello, Jennifer from New Jersey. And Heidi. Good to see you. Fridays are good days, aren't they? Today, by the way, hello, Catherine. Today I will not be doing our regular cooking time. I am having tea with Marla at 3 p.m. We are simulcasting in our big technology. So it should be really fun. Hi, Joanne. You went gray about 5 years ago. You know, honestly, I actually would, except I'm only gray here. And then I've got a little bit of gray on the sides. And it just looks kind of dumb. I just look silly. I look like I don't know, like I have some kind of thing. There's a little hair that just wants to get in my face. Hi, Julianne. Veronica, good to see you. Margot's in the house. Hello. So, happy Friday, everyone. I would say, the weekend's here, but, whatever. It's just another day in quarantine. Anyway, good news. Good news is that we had a bunch of supplements come in. So if you are waiting on any back orders, they're going out. We've got the vanilla, perfect paleo protein, and of course everything is backwards. I can't seem to fix that. I don't know why, but it won't fix for me. We have the perfect paleo protein. We have the unflavored as well. So you can flavor that any way that you like. We have L-glutamine back in the shop. That's a good one. We have Hot Melt Mix back in the shop. Now, I just want to tell everybody who are fans of Hot Melt Mix, this is a new formula. And it tastes kind of like an orange-sicle. Remember those orange creamsicles? That's what it sounds like. So I really like it. We have Leptifix in the shop. Yay, I'm excited about that. Infla Crusher and Digestzymes are back. So that's everything that's in the shop right now. And don't forget, if you order any of the Body Clutter Wise Women's supplements, you've got B Complex, CalMag, CoQ10, and of course, vitamin D. These are the core four. If you order that and some Wise Women's tea, and you write right there in the promo window, and you write ships free, we'll ship it free. It'll be on us. If you have an order over $200, I will send you a mindful mug and a little note because I love you. And if it's over $100 and you want one of these, it's $5. And I'll send you a note because I love you. But anyway, order. Get your orders in. Everything I know right now, we have, Jenny is updating the shop, so everything is available. We have another round coming soon. You guys just would not even believe the madness. We had 33 boxes show up today. It was crazy. So we have a bunch of stuff in, and I'm so thankful to have stuff in the shop. I know a lot of you have been waiting and waiting and waiting. So thank you. You guys have been amazing, loyal, great customers. Better than customers. You've been friends, and you have befriended my little company and taken us in, and we are your supplement supplier, and I appreciate that more than you know. Thank you so much. And yes, everything here has been formulated under my guiding eyeballs with a formulator. I work because I don't know how to formulate. I tell them what I want, how to do it, and how do we place that together. And it took months to do, but it is worth it to get good custom fabulous formulas that are right for us, right? I'm looking at you. I'm looking at me. I'm saying, what do we need? You know, it's sort of like when we did the body clutter wise women stuff, you know, that it's really scary what's going on right out with all the new research. The fact that you even can find CalMags right now with a 3-to-1 ratio, that's terrible. Read it. You can read about it. We have all the information about why everything's formulated the way they are. And I think I'm proud of what we did. That's all I have to say about that. You can check out the Wise Women stuff. Go to savingdinner.com/wise and you can read all about that. The research is there too. You can read the research. You can go look up all the papers and read those yourself. And I encourage you to do that. I think it's wise to be wise. It's wise to be looking at this stuff and finding out for yourself, why are you doing things this way, you know? Instead of just taking it, you know, like this is what you do, find out. Don't you think? So again, I'm not cooking at 4 p.m. today. I am having tea at 3 p.m. today at Marla's house. So we're going to go down the mountain and have tea together. It's going to be fun. And you will see that we have, that we're going to simulcast. So on the Saving Dinner channel and on the Fly Lady channel. So stay on my channel so we can get some traffic. I like the traffic. Oh, Friday is Q&A. That's today. Margot's asking, the core 4 is CalMags, B complex, CoQ10, and what else do we have? CalMag, B complex. Oh, vitamin D. Yep, all the good things. The core. They are core supplements. This is why we did them. We do all the fancy stuff, you know. We do all the fancy stuff, but we need some core stuff, because. You know, I see women buying stuff believe me, I've coached them and they've got like this, you know, box of supplements, like a bunch of stuff they're taking. And I'm like, why are you taking this? I don't know. I read something somewhere and, you know, I don't want you doing that. I want you to do take the things that you need. So it's supplemental to your healthy core diet. And these core supplements, I think all women should take. You know, with the exception of CoQ10, if you're on a blood thinner, then you got to talk to your doctor. So, and that is pretty much the only thing. But they are the things that people, as we age, you guys, we lose our abilities to, you know, it's just how it is. We lose our ability to process things the way we normally do. That's why we have digestive enzymes. We have, you know, it's just that's just the way it is. Sometimes we just need a little bit more. We need a little help along the way. I'll take it. I'll take all the help I can get. Our quote of the week is Maya Angelou. And you know me, I gush endlessly about Maya Angelou. I love her. It's hope and fear cannot occupy the same space. Invite one to stay. And I don't know about you, but I am inviting hope right now today. Hope. Hope is the thing that floats the boat. Hope is the thing that makes our lives better. Hope is a future. You know, I have hope in the future. I'll tell you, this pandemic has given me, I think, and everybody, a run for their money. It's made us feel like, you know, what's next? You know, when I saw the thing on murder hornets, you know, it's just like, okay, that's it. I'm done. The apocalypse is now officially here. But we don't have murder hornets here, so I'm happy to say that. We have a lot of people who have also supporting Saving Dinner by becoming Dinner Answers members. It's simple to do. It's $7 a month. $7 a month. Every single week we send you out menus, recipes, and shopping lists according to the way you eat. So check it out, pandemic pricing. And you will be locked in for life, even after the price goes back up after this whole thing is over to $10 a month, but you'll be locked in for $7. It's on savingdinner.com. Oh, and by the way, if you see ads for the Sprint and it's a video ad of me talking or whatever, would you like that ad? And it's because there's going to be sponsored ads talking about the Sprint. And because we've had some like trolls saying, oh no, you're trying to charge. What kind of a ripoff? This is a scam. Honestly, we got rid of all the all the nonsense. So let's just give me some love on that. If you see those ads as you're scrolling through Facebook, if you see an ad like that, just say, the Sprint's the best thing ever. I love that, whatever you want to. But let's just give Saving Dinner some love, because I get really tired of all those crazy people. Don't they have anything better to do with their lives? I mean, seriously. And I just feel like saying, I'm going to knock on their door and say, excuse me, do you understand that just because you don't understand how to click on a link, you're trying to destroy me, and I don't appreciate it. Not one little bit. Well, let's get to these questions. We got a ton of them. And if you've got a question and you want me to answer it next week, next Friday, I will do that for you. Okay? That's what I will do. So all you have to do is send a question to support@savingdinner.com. In the subject line, write question for Leanne on Friday. I will answer it next Friday at this time. I love your questions. And by the way, these are thoughtful women who send these in. And you're women who's saying, hey, I need some help. Thank you, Amy. I know you will. You're just the best. Okay. So this first one is from Susan, and she said, I have been diagnosed with fatty liver, wondering how the Hot Melt Sprint can help me. Well, it can help you a lot. It can help you a lot. So let's talk about what a fatty liver is. Basically, your liver processes fat. It's a filtration system. It's also, there's like 500 functions in the liver. It's a detoxifier. It does all kinds of things. It's a wonderful thing. It also regenerates quite easily. I mean, you can take a third of your liver out and give it to somebody and it will regenerate. So it's a fantastic, wonderful piece of machinery, system in your body. But it also needs to be treated well. And it gets backed up. And the reason, that livers get beat up like it is, there's this thing called, there's alcoholic liver disease. And then there's non-alcoholic liver disease. And a lot of times what happens is people who are diagnosed with fatty liver, oftentimes it's non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And it comes from, unfortunately, bad food. All of that processed food out there with all of those fractured, bad trans fats all manage to, they attack your liver. And that's one of the reasons why I am so despise, all of those fast food places. That is, fatty liver waiting to happen. All of that stuff. It's all fried in crappy oil. It all has crappy oils in it. It has lots of sugar, also a thing that's going to cause fatty liver. And there's certain meds as well, by the way, that cause that. And I can't remember, tamoxifen, I think it is, that you take after breast cancer, that can cause damage to the liver. Also, Lipitor can cause damage to the liver, as well as Tylenol. So always look at your medications and talk with your doctor about that, because that makes all the difference in the world, when you're trying to get beyond this kind of a thing. Because fatty liver, yes, it can be reversed, but it takes a while. You're not going to do it in one sprint or even two. It takes a while. It took a while for you to get there. It's going to take a while to get back. So there's several things that you can do. The first thing is make sure that your fat source, fat is not the enemy, bad fat is the enemy. Make sure your fat source is clean and healthy. We do this in the sprint. We have avocados. We have lots and lots of avocados, and avocados are amazing. Plus they have good fiber in them, nuts, olive oil, those kind of things, as well as MCT oil, which is basically coconut oil. And that's medium chain triglycerides. And those are really good and help you with your function. Your liver's also responsible for some of the hormonal work, and having fat helps you to fire off those hormones. So that's a really good thing. The other thing is greens. Honestly, and I've said this before, that the greens, I have never met a single person, I have never coached anyone in all of my years of being a nutritionist who overdid it on the greens. No, not a one. But greens are amazing for you, and I especially love the sulforaphane that is present in any kind of cruciferous vegetables. However, I will also say this, that the sulforaphane that are in greens help and protect and also support a liver trying to do its job. So that's a really important thing. Making sure that you're getting greens, and especially bitter greens. So things like arugula and dandelion greens, chicory. I've never eaten chicory in my life, I don't think. But chicory, bitter green. What else would be considered? Even collard greens, which is also in the cruciferous family. Cabbages, mustard greens, dandelion greens. All of these greens, these bitter greens, help. It's like a tonic to your liver, as well as apple cider vinegar. It's a prebiotic. So that works as well. So if you're listening to everything that I've just said and you've done the sprint, it pretty much is a diet for a fatty liver, and it will just support you and help clean you out. I also have to remind you that parsley and cilantro pull out heavy metals from your body. It also helps with liver detoxification. So I would absolutely add those kind of things in and just do it on a regular basis. Coffee actually helps, but too much coffee can be ridiculous, and too much coffee can tip it over. So, a couple of cups of coffee a day, that's not a problem. But if you're just drinking coffee by the potful, that's going to cause problems for your liver. Crappy food. Also, believe it or not, they're saying toxic mushrooms. And that would be raw mushrooms are just hard on your liver as well. So make sure that you're cooking all of your mushrooms. Remember, they have a cellulose in them that's just very difficult to digest. And parsley is what I said, Robin. And then just make sure you just, do it that way. That's what you need to make sure is that you are sauteing those mushrooms. It helps to break down the fibers so that your body can process them and dumps all the toxins. Every mushroom has toxins. Every mushroom, including the little cute white button mushrooms, they have toxins, but they get cooked out. Okay? So cilantro and if you have a hard time with digestion of raw greens, by all means, use them in your bone broth. One of the things that I have a coaching client of mine that does this, and she can handle her bone broth. She shreds her spinach and she adds that by the handful into her bone broth, and she can handle that just fine because it just helps. There's certain people that just need to have vegetables that are cooked, and especially with the greens, those work really well. And also the other thing is the biggie, sugar, because it's so inflammatory. Every time we eat sugar, we get inflammation, and that inflammation goes directly to the liver. So those are the things that you need to be looking at. Also, supplement-wise, a B complex. Oh, funny, you should mention a B complex. Whoop, whoop, we have that, of course. And it's a methylated B complex. So you get the full benefit of the B12 and the folate. Folate, if you don't have the ability to methylate, which I don't because I have a mutated gene, and you only know about that if you have had had a genetics test. But 60% of the population has that mutated gene. So you have to have methylated Bs. Have to. Okay, that's really important. That's also going to, vitamin D, also extraordinarily important. Check your vitamin D levels. Cheap, easy tests available with a little blood spot that you can get on Amazon. There's a bunch of them there. Just get whatever has a good reputation. The other thing is I look at things like if digestion is off, digestimes are going to help. If you don't digest really well, this is going to help you, and it will help your liver. You strain your liver when you're having problems with digestion. Also, InflaCrusher, curcumin, that's what's in here. And that stuff is amazing, and it helps you to detoxify. It is an anti-inflammatory. It helps a lot. Also, milk thistle. You can get that off of, I believe Now brand, NOW, makes a good one. And milk thistle, you can find it on Amazon. That's a really good one. Get your probiotics on. We have a proactive probiotic. Grab it and use it every single night. Prebiotic and probiotic are important. You can get a prebiotic with your apple cider vinegar. Remember, you want good apple cider vinegar, organic with the mother, And then you know that you have got a live culture in there. That's a prebiotic that feeds the good guys that are in your gut. It also supports the liver. Your liver is part of your whole digestive tract. It also supports the liver. And it also helps to emulsify fat, extra fat in the liver. It's not going to, like I said, it will not happen overnight. It needs to be consistent. You're going to go through several bottles of supplements, and after 2-3 months, it'll start to turn around. You just watch. Your doctor will tell you that. So there you go. And also talk to your doctor about, if you're on any kind of a medication that might be causing liver damage or fatty liver or whatever, ask them about an alternative and see if there's something else that you can do. Because there are alternatives out there. That's a really important thing to do. I think I got that. Oh, the other thing would be vitamin C. Vitamin C for days. It's really good for you as well. Okay. Come on. Trying to get my computer to work. There it is. Here we are. I saw you had written a book years ago on the paleo diet. What's the difference between paleo and keto? The difference now, when we talk about keto, the keto diet was developed in the 1920s for epileptic seizures, really. And it was primarily a fat diet. And what they noticed, just incidentally, was the weight loss that happened. And then, later on, it ended up becoming a, diet of sorts. Now today, it's still a diet of sorts, and it is somewhat adapted for that. But the biggest food group for the keto diet is fat. We don't do it that way. We do the hot melt way. We do, and I call it hot melt because it still does the work that you want it to do, but you're not eating that much fat. You're eating more fat than you would normally, but you're eating a whole heck of a lot of greens and the right amount of protein for you. So that's something that we do. So what is the difference? The difference is there's a little bit more fat. Both of these diets are grain-free, legume-free, bean-free, all of that kind of a thing. And it just makes such a big, it makes a big, big difference. Our hot melt way is really focused on nutrition and getting the greens in and being anti-inflammatory and cooling off that inflammation. Dairy is very inflammatory. Now, dairy can have its place sometimes in both the hot melt way and also a little bit in the paleo diet, although dairy and paleo are just a little on the edge. But the way that I use it is, well, first of all, I use ghee, which is, technically a dairy product, although it's like 98% dairy free. That's number one. The second thing is that paleo uses butter, which keto also uses butter. And for cheeses, my recommendation for either one of them is just to use cheese very sparingly, not very often. And the cheese that you do use needs to be 120 days of aging at least. That way the lactose is broken down, but you still have the casein. So if you have a dairy allergy, a sincere dairy allergy, a lot of times it isn't just the lactose, it is the casein itself, which is a milk protein. The lactose is the milk sugar and the casein is the milk protein. So if you have that kind of a sensitivity, then you need to ditch it. But it's basically no grains, no flour, no beans. And those are the same. Hot melt is stepped up a little bit higher on the fat. And I would say paleo probably a little more on the protein. You just have to do what works best for you. I strongly recommend my part-time paleo book, though. There's a lot of good recipes in there, and there's a lot of good information that just shares why this particular approach is so effective, because it's anti-inflammatory is what it is. And this is what helped me get my weight off and also helped me get my thyroid back to normal. And in remission. Let's see. I really love your website. I love following your articles. You have great information. Thank you so much. Yeah, we have new blogs going out most Mondays. We've been a little bit off lately, but on Mondays we have new blog posts that go out. And if you're not signed up for our information, we send out good recipes. We send out all kinds of really juicy, fun stuff. You go to savingdinner.com and there'll be a little pop-up. I know it's annoying, but at least you know where it is. And just put your name in there and your email address, and you'll start getting our emails. Really, I promise you, very educational and some good stuff. Because, you guys tell me what you want, and I deliver. So that helps. This is from Carol. When making bone broth, do you strain it before you drink it? Yes, ma'am. All of those solids have served their purpose. When you make your bone broth, you're going to get every last bit of nutrients out of there. I know I've seen people say, well, but I don't want to, I don't want to get rid of all those vegetables. Have you tried them? Yuck. It's disgusting. They're just mush. And if you're putting in whole chickens and things like that, don't do that. You're ruining your chicken. My suggestion is eat the chicken first, save the carcass, and that becomes your bone broth. And if you can get some chicken feet to go with it, there's where the collagen is. That stuff's just the bomb.com. Love that stuff. Do you have more than 1 cup of bone broth a day? I have about a cup a day. I usually have soup for lunch, and we have a vegetable soup. I'll find some leftover protein from the night before and probably throw in a handful of spinach. That's my go-to. And it's a favorite. It's easy to do, and it's delicious. And, I'm going to tell you what, all that collagen that keeps this old girl, keeps my skin happy. I love it. So you can have a cup, you can have 2 cups. Here's the thing. What we're trying to do, especially like with the Hot Melt Sprint, is get off of this dumb habit of snacking all the time. What is snacking anyway? Snacking's mouth entertainment, has nothing to do with nutrition. We get our nutrition from our meals. And when we do it with the target trifecta in mind, protein, fat, and fiber, then we're going to hit it out of the park every time. Especially if we're watching the carbs. The carbs just don't love us. I mean, come on. Any woman over the age of 35 or 40, perimenopause all the way through menopause and postmenopause, you know what happens to your waistline. It just grows as we get older. And part of that is from the carbohydrates. Yes, it's from, hormonal stuff and all of that. But, let's just understand that carbohydrates are not a necessary food group. What you need from the carbohydrate is the sugar that it has in it. But the problem is that we get way too much of it, and it goes into the liver, gets stored as glycogen, and that glycogen spills out, and that becomes that big spare tire around our waists. We don't need it. We can get sugar out of anything, including a steak. We can get sugar out of anything. So we don't really eat anything carby. The only carbs that we eat when we're doing hot melt and doing things the hot melt way is green vegetables. And they're very low, and that helps to keep it down. It cools the inflammation, and it also keeps our waistlines trim. We like that. This is okay. Come on, friend. This is from Denise, if I can get it opened. No more. Go away. There it is. Would you discuss what body clutter buddies do? I would love to. So body clutter, so when you're in the sprint, I suggest, and especially if you're in either Hot Melt Club or Take Back Your Life, I am riding you like, a horse. Get yourself a body clutter buddy. Here's the thing. When we have somebody that we're accountable with, 1-to-1, we are more likely to be successful. That's why we do it. When we take it a step further and we have accountability meetings where we're talking about the things where we stumble and fall and all of that, and we are saying, just hold me to it. Hold me to not eating sugar. Hold me to not snacking anymore. Hold me to whatever. Then you become that much more successful. It really is amazing what happens with that. That's number one. You hold each other accountable. The other thing is that you help each other along the way. Like, I'm really having a hard time with X, Y, and Z. What do you think? And sometimes that body clutter buddy of yours sees the forest through the trees and can help you and say, have you ever thought about doing this instead? And it's just helpful. It helps. When I shared the story before that, Mark was like munching down some chocolate, and it was just like, I was looking at that chocolate going, Well, one little bite wouldn't hurt. Have you ever said that before? And then I thought, oh, I am just barking up the wrong tree. I immediately reached for my phone and I texted Marla and I said, Mark's eating chocolate and I'm like this close, And she just said, don't do it. Walk out. Do some deep breathing, do this and do that. And you know what? She could have just, sent me a bunch of emojis. Just the fact that she was there was enough. And knowing that I was going to be accountable. And she said, let me know how you do in the morning. I knew that I was going to have to report. And you always want to report good things, don't you? There's a psychological thing. And there's somebody who has your back, intimately knows you, has your phone number, text messages you, encourages you, and supports you. And you do the same for her. That's what a body clutter buddy is about. And she who has a body clutter buddy is she who is more successful than she who does not. And there is a danger though, and that would be that you're just slip sliding away and just doing all kinds of stuff and you guys are just dismissing it. Oh, no worries, don't beat yourself up, let's just keep going. And that's the constant conversation for months at a time. There's no growth. So what I suggest is that you hold yourself accountable, that you read, I've got my body clutter book over there, read body clutter and read all about that and there's some insight in there that will help you. And Marla and I wrote this, goodness gracious, 15 years ago, more than that, 16 years ago. And it's still applicable today. And of course, we've got the new book coming. I'm supposed to have my part done by the end of the month. So you guys just send the good juju and the prayers and everything. I need everything. I need all the help that I can get. But it does go both ways. You have to have that kind of accountability and support, encouragement, and an agreement that you're going to hold each other accountable, that you're doing this, and these are your goals. And if you're using your Take Back Your Life journal, which I highly recommend that you do, that you've got 90-day goals. Share those 90-day goals and show what you're doing, how you've created your morning and your evening rituals to support those goals and how you're following through on them. I always say to you, I don't expect you to do it perfectly, but I do expect you to do it excellently. There's a whole different thing. Perfect isn't this side of paradise. It's just not. It's on the other side. We will see perfect later, much later. We are not going to see it right now. But I will also say that when we are doing things excellently, and we know that sometimes it's a little bit of a cha-cha, we got 2 steps forward and a couple of steps back. But if you grind it out and don't quit on yourself, and you've got somebody who's on the other side holding you accountable and being your friend through this whole thing, then you develop an intimacy, you develop accountability, you up level the grade and everything that you're trying to do, and you don't feel alone. Because even if you're coaching with me, and if you're in Take Back Your Life, you're coaching with me quarterly, or every 12 weeks, there's a long time that goes in between all of that. And while I'm going to hold you accountable and expect that you're making progress, having somebody that you can daily text, that's gold. And developing that kind of a relationship and having the same standards, it's amazing. So strongly recommend it. You can start in the sprint, do the sprint together, and then, if you're going up and decide that you're going to do Hot Milk Club or Take Back Your Life, keep going. Keep that body clutter buddy going. It's amazing. You can change your whole life in less than a year just by having somebody who is going to hold your feet to the fire in a kind and gentle way, and you're going to develop a cool friendship in the meantime. You're on the same page. I hope that explains the whole thing. This is from Naleen, and she said, I recently got my bundle of Wise Women supplements. Yay! I started taking all of them except the CalMag, being I happened to check my blood work from February and my calcium levels were smack in the middle of normal. So I didn't know if I should take the CalMag or not. What do you think? So I say yes, take it, because your calcium levels don't just stay there. They still need to be supplemented. So that's number one. And number two, it's the magnesium in it that's so important. And if you read about it, you read about our Body Clutter Wise Wise Women's supplements, there's a lot of research that went into them. The CalMag is 1-to-1. So it's not just calcium, it's the magnesium. So it helps you to process it. Also important in that is collagen, because collagen basically is the matrix that helps you, helps to remodel those bones. You have to have the collagen as well. So if you're taking, for example, if you're doing are taking bone broth once a day, doing collagen shots or the Target Trifecta smoothie with our perfect paleo protein, and you're taking your CalMax, you're gonna have bones. You're gonna have some bones, girlfriend. And also recommended with all of that, so that you do keep your bone mass, is to do strength training exercises. That means it's resistant weight. You can do it with your body. Just get down on the ground and do some push-ups. I'm doing a push-up challenge right now. And let me tell you, it's a challenge. Women traditionally have very poor upper body strength. And as we get older, it comes and visits you. So listen, I will tell you, I'm taking my own advice. I take the CalMags myself. I do the bone broth, the collagen. Vitamin D is important. That adds into it. All of these things, they all work synergistically together. And then you add in the exercise, which also works with the bone. You're golden. You're going to be, like the wisest woman on the planet. Thanks for that. That was a good question, Naylene. This one's from Patricia. You talk frequently about leaky gut. How do you know if you have a leaky gut? More importantly, if I follow your advice in your program, how do I know it's healed? Thanks. I struggle sometimes, but I'm endeavoring to follow through on your program. Okay, good. These are good questions. Like I said, we got some really good questions this time. So what a leaky gut means is that in your gut, on your gut lining, you have these little tiny junctures that separate and open up when you're from excess stress, from inflammatory foods, from foods that cause a little tiny microscopic tears in that very thin membrane. And we need to heal them back up. How do you do that? One of the things that you can do is take your L-glutamine. L-glutamine's amazing because it's like helps to seal it up. Bone broth, collagen helps to seal it up. All of those things are helpful so that it seals up. Manage your stress, because stress can also contribute to a leaky gut. Get rid of any kind of inflammatory foods. So earlier I saw a comment from a woman who said, I can't really eat the greens because it upsets my stomach. Well, it could also be causing leaky gut. When we have food sensitivities, that also can cause leaky gut, right? So we stay away from that. So instead, it's not like stay away from greens. No, cook them. Eat them cooked, and just, stay away from the raw stuff. The raw stuff doesn't like you, then don't eat it. Eat the stuff that you can eat, or do it with digestive enzymes. See if that helps. Those are things that you can do. So how do you know if you have leaky gut? If you're bloated, if you have if you feel like when you eat, and you just feel like you're not digesting very well, then you have a leaky gut. If your digestion, if it's just a crapshoot, so to speak, sorry, the bad choice of words, where, you don't know if you're constipated or your digestion is just kind of iffy, diarrhea one day and constipation the next, you're not digesting very well, you're leaky, your gut is probably leaky. If you have eczema or rosacea or acne or any kind of skin issue, that's usually indicative of a leaky gut. But so you gotta look at those kind of things. And just, I will say this, and believe me, I'm not saying this gleefully, but it's true. Most of us do have some kind of a leaky gut. That membrane's thin. You've seen sausage membrane, right? Well, ours is not that much, bigger, that much thicker. What you need to do is make sure that you are doing things proactively every day to heal that leaky gut. And honestly, stress reduction is one of the biggies. Getting adequate sleep, getting adequate hydration, making sure that anything that causes you tummy distress could be causing you, it could go on into your gut and cause leaky gut. There's a book, I can't remember his name, Gundry, I think. And he talks a lot about this with lectins and phytates. And I talk about that a little bit in my book, Part-Time Paleo. And yes, lectins and phytates can be an issue, and that's in legumes, it's in beans, and in some vegetables as well. And the lectins, if you look at them, they look like little fish hooks, and they just go right in and go right to that stomach lining. But, or rather, I'm sorry, the gut lining. So we just have to be cautious, and we just need to be figuring that we probably do have leaky guts. And the way to handle it is to make sure that you're doing things that work for you. So L-glutamine, bone broth, collagen, all of those things help to heal a leaky gut and managing your stress big time. How will you know you're healed? Your digestion will be better. You will have a dependable bowel movement. Your bloating will be gone and you'll feel good. The other thing is too, this is the other thing about leaky gut. It could also help with the whole brain fog thing and arthritis. There's all kinds of stuff linked to leaky gut. Hippocrates says health begins in the gut. He's right. Health does begin in the gut. That's why I'm such a nutcase about, I love apple cider vinegar. It's a prebiotic. I love probiotics. Prebiotics feed your probiotic. And when you're constantly putting probiotics in, which is another thing to help with a leaky gut, you're winning the war of the bad bacteria versus the good bacteria. You want the good guys always to win. That's how you heal a leaky gut. Okay, let's see what else we have here. We got a lot of them today. This is from Kathleen. She says, I hate plain water, but if I put a splash of Crystal Light powder in it for faint flavor, I can drink 30 cups all day long. Is that okay? No! No, it's not. That's crap. Crystal Light, read the ingredients. I mean, it's all that fake sugar. Here's what you can do. You could do some wise women's tea. Make it a really, light kind of a tea. It's great. No, Vanessa, don't take probiotics more than once a day. It'll upset your stomach. You only need it once. Here's what you can do. And I honestly, this is super helpful. You can even do apple cider vinegar, add a squeeze of lemon and a tiny bit of stevia. Sorry. All of a sudden it just said I'm having a hard time connecting, whatever. So try that. That works really well. And they are made from coconut and they're wonderful and they are great. I really think that you will like it. Heidi, I think we have a kale recipe. Yeah, I think so, somewhere. All right, so yeah, you can buy them. I've seen them everywhere. I have seen them everywhere, but they're coconut aminos, and there's a couple of different brands out there. Just check them. They're fantastic, and they taste a lot like soy sauce. I think they even taste better. I take it with me when we used to go to sushi bar, when we used to go out. Remember that? I've done that before. This is from Maureen. She said, I was browning my mince, also known as ground beef, for my sausage rolls for Mother's Day, and your cooking lessons came to mind. On the bottom of the pan, I'm very happy when I get the brown sticky stuff and incorporate that back into the dish. It adds a lot of flavor. Is the stuff on the bottom of the pan named amines? What are amines? Are they good for you? When my recipe lists aminos, is there a recipe relation to the bottom of my fry pan? No, they're not called amines. It's called fond, F-O-N-D. And that just basically is the caramelization, the sugar of what's in your food caramelizing. It adds a lot of flavor to it. When recipes list aminos, it's coconut aminos. It's just exactly the soy sauce that I'm talking about, substitute that you use instead. And there's no relation to what's on the bottom of your pan. This is from Margot. She said, I stopped taking... I know, I see you, Margot. She said, I stopped taking the 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C day because of the gummies. She was taking gummies that had a lot of sugar in them, and I made her look at the thing and said, no more. It was just crazy. Do I need to replace these? And if so, where do I get the vitamin C? Or is vitamin C and elderberry thinking off? Maybe something else. What should I do to avoid getting cold etc. So I would just, vitamin C, you can get Now brand has a good vitamin C. That's the one that I've been taking right now. We're developing a vitamin C product with zinc, and we just don't have it yet. It's a miracle that I have what I have, but vitamin C is good. Also zinc. Those are two very good things. I would do at least 1,000 milligrams a day. You can do more. I do, believe it or not, I have built up to 8,000 milligrams a day. That's a lot of vitamin C. But you can find out your tolerance for vitamin C by taking it 500 milligrams at a time. And once you get to the place of having diarrhea or loose stools, you will find your tolerance. But vitamin C is one of those things. It's a water-soluble vitamin, and we use it up every single day. We can get it, of course, in citrus. We can get it in tomatoes. It's even in some greens. But if we're looking at building, immune systems and all the rest of it, I strongly suggest you take it. I also have a vitamin C powder over there somewhere, but I have a vitamin C powder that I use as well and you can use a vitamin C powder in your water. That's another one for you, Kathy. Use a vitamin C powder in your water with some little stuff. This is from Katrina. I know you've talked about L-glutamine before, but I bought some a little while and I'm not sure I fully grasp its usage. Is there a minimum or maximum amount I should take each day? Does it seem to have a cumulative effect, so should I make sure to take it and use it every day? In regard to cravings, how long does it last? All day? Lastly, what are the benefits besides killing cravings? Well, first of all, it does kill cravings, and here's mine. This is what I do. I put L-glutamine, put my finger in my water. Let me show you. I'm just going to do a demo. Crushes it. Crushes it. See? There it is. Teeth, gums, tongue. Crushes your cravings. Amazing stuff. And it just cuts off that place in the brain that is the addicted area. It doesn't matter if you're addicted to sugar or heroin, right? Same area of the brain that lights up. So if we are taking L-glutamine, that's how we knock it out. You can also add a scoop to your smoothie every day, your Target Trifecta smoothie, and it also helps with healing of your gut. We just talked about how to heal a leaky gut. It's amazing. Catherine's saying it works. She knows. She's one of my junkies. I can say that, Catherine. You're in good company. And she puts it in a little Ziploc baggie and keeps it in her purse, so she always has it. And that's what my strong suggestion is. And how often do you use it? How often do you get cravings? It really depends on you. It depends on how hooked you are to either sugar or carbs or whatever. I mean, it's hard to say without knowing you and without, sitting down one-on-one and going through your whole situation. But just, keep it on hand. You can have a scoop a day. Put a scoop a day into your smoothie every single day. And then keep a scoop in a little Ziploc bag or on your desk, like I do, because it just plain works. It works. It just cuts those off at the knees. So that's what it does. It's amazing stuff. And I highly, highly, highly recommend L-glutamine. It's an amino acid. It's tasteless. It's not going to make you go, but it's just amazing stuff. All right. So that's what we have for you today. It is safe for type 2 diabetes. Yes, it is. But again, I always recommend that if you have, if you're a type 2 diabetic or you're taking a lot of medications or whatever, talk to your doctor. Make sure your doctor's a partner, for heaven's sakes, and just doesn't, poo-poo supplements or anything like that, and understands, what you're talking about, because this stuff is great stuff. And if you're a type 2 diabetic who has a lot of sugar cravings and is indulging in them, you are not helping your diabetes in any stretch of the imagination. So I can't imagine a doctor saying, no, don't be doing any extra amino acids. That would be crazy. So safe, yes, but under medication, under your doctor's care, talk to your doctor about it. All right, that is our show for today. Thank you so much for all the good, thoughtful, great questions. I love supporting you. So if you have any questions and you want your question answered next Friday, Don't forget to send it in to support@savingdinner.com, and in that subject line, question for Leanne on Friday. It will get in here and I will answer it here for you. And today there is no 4 o'clock cooking lesson. I will be doing a 3 o'clock simulcast tea time with Marla. Won't that be a hoot? You know it will be. Peace out, guys. I really appreciate you. Love you. Share this video and let's start getting it in. I appreciate it. Bye.